convinced that what will happen with this bowl game, as it is embraced by the conferences, by the schools, by the fans, by our corporate partners, and those who want to be a part of connecting to our community, and by those who, people across the country who watch this game and are exposed to what these universities are providing today, we're going to create a very strong, viable, and much more powerful future versus what we've stood on from the past. So I think that's important, especially when I think back to Rob, the guys who started the first football game in 1892, who probably didn't even envision what we have today. But because they played that first game at Livingstone College on December the 27th in 1892, we can today have the Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl in December to kick off the college football bowl season. Mm-hmm. And let me repeat what I said. Not to be a part, well, we are a part of, but to lead off the college football bowl season. To lead off the bowl season is historic within itself, is a new history for HBCUs.
And it's a real bowl. I mean, it's not like the Little Caesars Pizza Bowl. Like it is a real bowl, and we're blessed that we are the only FCS bowl game, and the fact that we are bringing the champions of these conferences, which makes it a championship game that we're able to open the college football bowl season with a championship game from these two conferences is unprecedented in the history of HBCU sports. So we are creating a new history. Absolutely. He is John Grant, Executive Director of the Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl. The game, MEAC versus SWAC, happens December 17th right here in the ATL at the Georgia Dome. Mr. Grant, thank you so much for joining us on the show. And here's what we're going to do. I plan on having you on the show the week of the Celebration Bowl. And I plan on having Jay Walker on as well, who joined. By the way, Jay joined us on the show a few weeks ago, and he was awesome, man. He was dynamic.
Jay is always great, man.
Yeah,
and we're fortunate to have him calling our games for ESPN. But I did want to make one final. Go ahead. That people can get information on the Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl by visiting our website at thecelebrationbowl.com. That is celebrationbowl.com for information and tickets. Tickets are on sale there as well, and that site is very dynamic. So we're constantly updating it, literally daily. So visit the site. That's thecelebrationbowl.com to keep up with what's happening with the bowl game and to get your tickets for this year's Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl, December 17th, 12 noon. In Atlanta, Georgia, and we'll be on ABC. So if you can't make it, tune in on ABC.
Absolutely, and we have the web banners up on our website as well, sportsnewsandbrews.com. So you can click the banner and go straight to the celebrationbowl.com. So, Mr. Grant, appreciate it again, and look forward to talking to you in these next coming weeks, okay?
Thank you so much for having me, Rob.
Great stuff right there. John Grant, Executive Director of the Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl. December 17th is going to be a great date. Make sure you write it down, mark it down on your calendar. SWAC versus MEAC for the outright HBCU National Championship. All right. Coming up on the other side, going to take a look at what's left of the HBCU football schedule. Now we're getting up out of here, man. This is the HBCU Report, and we'll be right back after these words.
It's the HBCU Report with Bob Calloway.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover guitar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Connecting the SWAC, the MEAC, SIAC, and the CIAA. The HBCU experience lives here. It's the HBCU Report with Bob Calloway.
This is the HBCU Report. Rod Calloway putting the wraps on this week's show. I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in, because without you, there would be no HBCU Report. In addition to Spreaker, don't forget we're also available for download at iTunes, Google Play Music for Android, and the TuneIn Radio app. Check the downloads on Spreaker the other day. And man, you guys have really been downloading and sharing this thing, and I really appreciate it because that's how we have to promote it. It's a grassroots movement right here, one of the greatest ever. And, when you spread the word, you become a part of one of the greatest grassroots movement in the history of broadcasting. Straight up. Also like to thank this week's guest, Jerry Mack, North Carolina Central University, Rod Broadway, North Carolina A&T. Well, the living legend, Rod Broadway. He tried to downplay that one when I asked him about that. But anyway, those two teams hook up today, A&T and North Carolina Central, to crown the first outright MEAC champion since 2016. And the winner punches their ticket to the 2016 Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl going down December 17th at the Georgia Dome. So, folks, that about do it, man. 2 o'clock kickoff today for North Carolina Central and A&T, ESPN3. I almost forgot that. 2 o'clock kickoff, ESPN3 for that game. Also got a handful of games today. I'm not going to go through the whole schedule up against the clock here, as they say. Alabama A&M is on the road versus Auburn, and what should be a one-sided affair. Big shouts out to James Spader for taking that game. Mississippi Valley and Southern are in action in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Prairie View is on the road versus Arkansas Pine Bluff. You got the Florida Blue Cross Blue Shield Florida Classic between Bethune-Cookman and Florida A&M. Game should be exciting. The two teams not really that good this year, but hey, neither were Bama State and A&M, and we packed that thing out in Birmingham. Grambling and Texas Southern hook up in Houston. Then you've got Jackson State and Alcorn. The Division II playoffs get underway this weekend. You've got Winston-Salem State taking on LIU, and Tuskegee and Newberry hook up in the Division II playoffs as well. Morgan State and Army hook up. It's senior day on the campus of South Carolina State. They host Savannah State. And what else we have? The Battle of the Bay, Norfolk State and Hampton. And that's it. That's all the games I'm doing, man. Not that many more left. If I forgot your game, sorry. Charge it to my head and not to my heart. Okay? Thanks. All right, so that about do it. And until next week, man, this has been the HBCU Report. Don't forget, we're doing 2 shows next week. 2 shows. Follow us on social media so you can stay up to date and know when those shows will air. Well, we have the Bayou Classic show on Saturday. It's going to air at the normal time, 8 o'clock. But the special Turkey Day Classic edition of the HBCU Report, follow us on social media at HBCU Report, and we'll be letting everybody know that way. All right, so until next week, this has been the HBCU Report, and I'm Rod Calloway. And if you're looking for me, you know where I am, man. Somewhere on the yard.
It's the HBCU Report with Bob Calloway.